Welcome to another video on Quick Workflow. My name is Jesper Scherpenhuizen, and in this short video I want to show you how you can design an end-to-end business process and how you can hand it over from a citizen developer to a COE member and see how those two can work together on one single use case. So what we're going to do is we're going to design a pre-qualification workflow for a home loan. So what we're going to do is we're going to design a workflow where we do some interesting checks already, how we can see how we can hand over work to a virtual employee as well, so an RPA robot in this example, and how we can then work together with people coming from different teams and groups. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up the KTA apps site. From here you started with Quick Workflow, and we're going to create a new workflow there as well, and let's call that pre-qualify demo. And the expected duration is going to be 1 hour because we all want to have our mortgage within an hour, right? So first thing we need to do is we need to create some data points that we're going to use. So we're going to use the applicant name, which is a string. There we go. We're going to add another loan amount, which is a decimal. We're going to do a property value, which is also a decimal. And we're going to do the credit score, also a decimal. There we go. So we have these 4 data points that are going to be the most, interesting ones to take a look at. In a real world scenario, you would need so much more data points, but in the interest of this demo, let's keep it nice and short and boil it down to the essence, right? So if we then go to the tab called Workflow, we can actually start designing these steps. So the first thing that we would do is we would assign a task to the applicant. So we're going to do a new task, and we call that start application. And we're going to say it's not assigned to everyone, it's only assigned to the applicant. There we go. And we are going to request some data points from the applicant. Actually, we're going to request all data points from them. There you go. And add. Then we're going to do the first check, which is a very straightforward check if the loan amount isn't higher than the property value. So we're going to add another step, which is a condition, and let's call that prop value larger than, what did we say, loan amount. And we're going to say the conditions are right click, loan amount is smaller than the property value. Well, let's say smaller or equal to. And if we do that, we're going to go to a new task, and that task is named, let's say we are going to do the credit check after that. There we go. And the other route is, of course, if the loan amount is larger than the property value. And then we're just going to end this process. Of course, in a real world scenario, you would typically send some sort of communication, but again, in the interest of this demo, here we go. So we have these. And if we do the credit check is actually something that we're going to assign to the group called robots. So we're going to change that to the group robots. And we are going to say that we are going to display the applicant name. And we're going to request an updated credit score that the robot can retrieve from internal or external systems. And once we have the credit check, Then we're going to do another check. And that check is going to be, well, is the credit score over 600 or under 600? So again, we're going to build a condition. Condition is credit score is under 600. Then we're going to end this. And if it's over 600 or equal to, credit score is larger or equal to 600, then we're going to do another task, and that task is called inform applicant add. There we go. And once we've informed the applicant, we are of course stopping this process, and then we can continue with the rest of the qualification. So let's assign this task to the group called caseworkers. So what we've now done is we've designed the actual flow of this scenario, and what we can then do is we can of course close this, save this, and publish that. So let's do that, right? Let's publish this workflow. So if we then go to our workspace, so this is where you would see all tasks assigned to you, or all the tasks that you need to do, is we can then go into the apps quick workflow, and we would see that we now have the entry for the pre-qualify demo there, and we can actually start an instance of that. So we're going to submit that. And the first thing is, of course, we have a task that's assigned to the applicant. I've added myself to all of these groups so we can actually show you how it's done. So start application, applicant name, John Doe, credit score was 700, loan amount is 100,000, and the property value is 120,000. Complete that. Then we see that we get a credit check. So we're on to the next stage, of course. So we now see that we have this job that's running. I can actually go into that. And now we are doing the work of a robot. As you can see, assigned to the robot. And we can say, well, let's keep it at 700. And then we're going to inform the applicant of the outcome. So this is how it then works. If you are a citizen developer, you can just design these workflows, and then of course you can hand it over to the Center of Excellence, who would then do all other things. So one of the things that the citizen developer hasn't done yet is to hand over the actual work to the robot. And that's typically something that you want your COE to do. So what I can then do is go into the full-fledged TotalAgility Designer. And we're going to go to the workflow, to the business processes, and here we can find the pre-qualified demo as well. So here we have the process we've just designed. So the start application that's assigned to the applicants. You have the credit check, which is assigned to the robots, and this is the one that we're going to change. As you can see, this is now designed and set up as an ordinary activity. But if we then change that to Kofax RPA, we can then select which RPA server we are going to use, where the management console is located, which project we should use. So we're going to use the prequal, and then the actual robot that we already designed. So here we have that robot, which does nothing else than just create a random credit score. So let's minimize that immediately. And we can configure the parameters that we need to pass to that robot and which parameters will come out of the robot. So on the inputs, we're just going to input the applicant name, and on the return parameter, we're only interested to get the credit score. There we go. What we can now do is, if we now release this, this is of course no longer a quick workflow because we as the COE have made changes to this. But that's of course exactly how we want that. So I'm just going to release that. There we go. And if we then go back to my work queue, and we see that we have nothing there, I can start a new job from here. And we're going to create a new job for the pre-qualified demo. Here we go. And what we will then see is that if we go to the work queue, that we have the start application that's assigned to the applicant. There we go. We're going to do applicant name is John Doe again. 740, 100,000, 120,000. Complete that. And we see that we don't have any next steps. So we know that the property value was higher than the loan amount. So if we then have a look and see what we can find, we see that this is still running. And we can now inform the applicant. So that means that the credit score was over 700. So let's have a quick look at the pre-qualified demo, at the variables, and you'll see that John Doe now has a 723 credit score. So that was a bit lower than the 740 he put down himself, but the robot did qualify him for this loan. So let's do a quick recap, shall we? So you saw me first as a citizen developer click together my process in Quick Workflow, and what you then saw is how I handed that over to the central center of excellence, who then took ownership of that and created a more robust workflow and actually incorporated robotic process automation in that process as well. So this is that hybrid workforce and the division of labor approach there as well. So everyone can do whatever they do best. So I hope you found this video informative. If you've got any questions, please reach out to your local Kofax representative or contact our help desk. For now, I would say stay safe, stay healthy, and hope to see you next time. Cheers.